Welcome to the Next Chapter Experience podcast with Jeanette Lissette. Thought leaders explore the mindset, wellness, and wealth needed to realize next level transformation. Let's get started. Welcome to the Next Chapter Experience. I'm your host, Jeanette Lissette, and today's guest is Jill Lublin. Jill is an international speaker on the topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She's the author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed Get Referrals, and that's what I want to talk to her about today. Jill, welcome to the Next Chapter Experience. I greatly appreciate your time today.
Delighted to be here with you. Thank you.
Let's dig in. What would you say would be the number 1 or 2 things that you believe you serve small business owners, entrepreneurs, or people who are entering a next chapter?
Oh, thank you. The biggest thing about getting out there with whatever you're at in your business is the power of publicity. I call it the 3 M's: to magnetize you, to monetize you, and to multiply you. So imagine that, just taking a few steps in the motion toward publicity to create that visibility factor. And I find that sometimes it's the very thing that people haven't taken a step in, and baby steps, particularly around your messaging, would be really a great place to start. Just focus in on, is your message saying what you want, giving the kind of value and benefit that you desire? One of my gifts is creating strong and powerful messages, and frankly, giving people simple, easy things to do to get your name out there without spending a fortune.
Greatly appreciate that clarity. As it relates to getting your message out, how much of that has to do with the story?
It's all about your story. In other words, I'm going to take that back, actually, because you know what? It's partly about your story. I call that use everything you've got, right? Use your ethnicity, use your religion, use all parts of who you are. And that could get you some publicity. Like my coach, she does a great job about how to listen effectively. And you know what? When it's Black History Month, I say to her, let's go out about how to be a strong, powerful Black woman in today's times and communicate effectively. And that's the story that gets her a lot of publicity, because we're using everything she's got, plus Black History Month. So I want you all to take a look at what's happening in the calendar. What's happening? Is it Hispanic Heritage Month? If you're a Christian, go to Christian media. If you're Jewish, go to Jewish media. You get the point, right? Use all aspects of who you are. And I think this is something that most people forget or don't fully utilize. And to me, that's almost like a sad situation, because if you use all parts of who you are, you can get more visibility and publicity simply, easily, and effectively.
That's brilliant. In fact, I've had that thought, but it's just acting on it. Even for a person that does what I do in the podcast space, I've had these moments where I've thought, what this really is about is my personal experience in this chapter of my life. I wonder what that experience would look like and sound like if I shared that experience.
Jeanette, that's exactly what people want, is they want to know parts of you. One of my clients right now, she's 80. Okay. She's had this outrageous career. She's been on Don Rickles' show. She's been on the Tonight Show. She's just fun and funny, and she always forgets, believe it or not, to incorporate the parts of her that are the most interesting. And I think nobody wants to know that you're going to Starbucks and the things they're posting on Instagram.
I understand what you're saying.
And this is my point, but here's the thing. If you are giving people, here's 2 words: value and benefit. As far as I'm concerned, when you're out there with publicity, that's what you got to focus in on. Are you giving value and benefit? Because when I interviewed Entrepreneur Magazine, for example, for my book, Guerrilla Publicity, we're on our 3rd edition right now. That's because we keep updating it, keep focused on what's new, what's exciting. And guess what? When I interviewed the editor for Entrepreneur Magazine, she said to me, share with people that we don't even care if it's exactly right formatted press release and everything's perfect. What we want is a great story that's going to give our readers something to talk about, something of value, and something of benefit for them. So I'm always big on spreading that message, because I think that's really a key for all of you.
That's good advice, because this morning I had a virtual doctor's appointment with a sleep doctor. because I think I don't get enough sleep. After the appointment, I asked her if she would be open to being a guest on my podcast show, because I think that element of sleep, a lot of people are worried about. Am I getting enough, or am I getting too much, or why can't I sleep? Why can't I sleep longer? She's a little shy. But what I did manage to do is get referrals to 2 doctors who may want to be on my podcast. But in the moment, in my personal experience, that's what's going on. And I thought, there's a benefit and value, to your point, to other people.
That might become, in my opinion, an article called, "Are You Getting Enough Sleep?" Then, of course, you help promote your podcast. And here's the thing, my friends who are watching and all of you, the issue is that you're going to create visibility opportunities. That's what I like to call them, every way you can. Sometimes it will be about Jeanette not getting enough sleep. And that might be what we're talking about, right? And that will drive people to listen to your podcast even more because it's a hot topic. So I want y'all to keep your PR antennas. These are PR antennas. I want you to keep your PR antennas up, and I want you to widen your mindset for the opportunities of what it is that you can engage with that's happening out in the media right now. Like, for instance, one of my clients, she was the first female firefighter in a rural town in North Carolina, right? First female firefighter. Now she's now a business coach who helps people put out fires. You get the connection, right? How fun is that? Here's the thing. When there was that terrible earthquake in Syria and Turkey, I said to her, drop everything. You're a first responder. You know how to do that. Let's talk about that. And that's going to drive people to your coaching and other things that you do. So I want y'all to think about using, I like to call it, everything you've got. If you're a woman, Women's History Month, right? Use all parts of who we are. I think with that, you're going to escalate and elevate your star. You're going to create more visibility opportunities, and you're going to be able to, we'll call it, capitalize on whatever is going on right now. Because the reality is, the more people see and hear you, the more they feel connected to you. And I want you to have authentic messages that are consistent with who you are and resonant with your heart and your spirit, and that you can say them simply and easily. And that's important. But really, a message is, number one, tied into media, but it also could be tied into using everything you've got and also what's happening in the media right now. The point is, my friends, take a step, get more visible. That's what's going to escalate and elevate your business success.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to hear that message and would appreciate it, because there's benefit and there's value to that. So that is landing on me in particular. I was thinking about a kaleidoscope of guests, and that's basically what my show represents. People like you and others who are having a certain experience at this particular moment. You didn't start out doing what you're doing right now. I'm going to ask you one question before we close, okay? In this chapter of your life, compared to others, what would you say are the things that you're doing that you find great joy in?
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you, first of all, I love serving entrepreneurs. I love running my publicity boot camps. I love that. Really, I love what I do, and I do what I love. So that's important to know. Also, I've written a 4th book called The Profit of Kindness. And when that book got written, I had one of those whispers to start kindness circles. And I'm going to tell you, when COVID hit, I'm like, this is it. We're doing it. We're going. I don't have it perfect. I don't even have it all figured out. But what I know is we need it bad. And so I am so excited about this new chapter of these kindness circles. And we can provide a link for your listeners. Happy to do that. It's completely free. And I love having people in my kindness circles. We do them every month. They're on Zoom. We meet, we connect, we create kindness. We have a 10-minute amazing, mind-blowing speaker, world-renowned, who you probably have heard of, all kinds of different people. And then we give to each other in whatever way we can. So to me, the legacy of kindness is key. And interestingly enough, I started thinking one day, now, Jill, you wrote these business books and Guerrilla publicity. How does this relate? And I realized that kindness is the new disruptor. And if you're kind, if you're just making things work no matter what, right? And flexibility and certain return on kindness principles. And if you practice a conscious act of kindness every single day, imagine how good the world would be. So
it would be amazing.
that's what I'm excited about. And I love that. And like I said, we'll provide a link to you and also for my free gift that I have for people and my action guide and providing ways for you to learn more about publicity quickly, effectively, and simply.
I really appreciate your time today, Jill. I know it's been one of those days for you and for me. So again, thank you for spending some time with me in the Next Chapter experience. I will be in touch with you.
Thank you.